Hello everyone, my name is Max and I am leading ArcticDB engineering. In this demonstration, I will guide you through the complete ArcticDB setup process. We will include creation of AWS login, setting up S3 bucket, access policy, configuring ArcticDB environment, and then eventually loading the data into ArcticDB. Before we begin, ensure you have administrative privileges for your AWS account, access AWS Management Console, and then basic understanding of AWS services like IAM S3. By end of this session, we will have a clear understanding of all steps required to successfully operate ArcticDB on AWS. Let's get started. Let's navigate to AWS Management Console. Select IAM and click Users. We'll click on Create User and give this user a username. Click Next. Don't select any options here for now. And then we'll click Create User. Now let's search for the created user. And let's assign an access key. We select application running outside AWS for this purpose. Next. And then we'll give it a description. Please remember to copy your newly created access key, as you won't be able to recover it after finishing. Now we will create S3 bucket. Let's navigate to S3 in the Management Console. Select Buckets. Let's select AWS region and click Create Bucket. Let's give this bucket a name. And we will validate the region. Keep everything default and then click Create Bucket. Next, we will search for the newly created bucket. We will validate the region once again, and then we will copy the ARN of the bucket. Now we will create a policy to allow the IAM user to access this S3 bucket. Let's navigate to IAM, Policies, and click Create Policy. We will select S3 service, and we will provide permission to actions, get object, put object, delete object, and list object. Now we will add ARN of the bucket that we created earlier. Give the name to the policy. Now we will attach the policy to the IAM user. Let's go to IAM, users, and select the user. We will click Add Permissions and select the option of Attach Policy directly. And then we will select the policy we just created. Now our AWS setup is complete. We have done so far. We've created S3 bucket, we've created IAM user, and also we created a policy for this IAM user to access S3 bucket. Now I'll configure my machine to access newly created S3 bucket on AWS. I'm using Mac, but similar steps can be applied on Linux or Windows. We'll navigate to the console and we will install AWS CLI. Now we will configure AWS by calling AWS configure, and then we will provide access key, secret key, and region that we copied earlier. We will verify the access to the bucket by calling AWS S3 ls command. We can see there is no error. Now we will proceed with the setup of ArcticDB environment. First we will create Conda environment. We will create Conda virtual environment by calling conda create with the name of the environment. And now let's activate this environment. We will install ArcticDB and its dependency by calling conda install from conda forge ArcticDB. And for purpose of the demo, we will install additional packages like PyKernel and Jupyter. We will activate PyKernel and then run Jupyter Notebook locally. Our notebook is running now, and we will create a new notebook. We will give it a name. First, we will include a couple of imports. In order to import ArcticDB, we just call import ArcticDB as ADB. We will also need import Boto3, and this is in order to use public Bitcoin data. Now we will create ArcticDB handle, and we will provide the connection string to the earlier created ArcticDB bucket. The connection string includes AWS region and also the name of the bucket. In order to check the connection, we will call list libraries. For now, it returns empty list because we haven't created any libraries. It's time to create our first library. Using Arctic handle, we will call getLibrary function, and we will provide the name of the library, and then we will provide the parameter createIfMissing in order to create a new library. Now we will load public blockchain transaction data. We will use Boto3, and we will obtain S3 resource from Boto3. We will access AWS public blockchain bucket, and then we will filter and load only March 2025 files. Each file is a Parquet file, and we will read this using data frame read Parquet. Each data frame we will append to the list, and then load all the transactions into one data frame. We finished loading all the data, and you can see it took almost 30 minutes. Let's write all this data into ArcticDB. We will call libWrite, and then we will specify the name of the symbol of the table, and then we will pass data frame into the libWrite. It took us only 18 seconds to save this data. Let's analyze and plot the amount of daily fees collected by those transactions. We will use Query Builder functionality from ArcticDB. First, we will create Query Builder object, and then we will specify to the Query Builder to group transactions by date, and then aggregate fees. And here we have it. After the demo, we encourage you to explore ArcticDB further. Check out our documentation to learn more about our capabilities. Thank you.